Well, there you have it. You heard it from the players themselves. ShowMaker was the one I feel like who was talking the most actual trash. He was very straightforward. He showed a very high lack of respect. He's like, they're bad. We're going to beat them. I don't even know how they qualified for LCK. We'll beat them real quick and then we'll move on with our lives. That's what ShowMaker had to say. So if I were APK, Korean casters are cheering him on as their voices are going out into the studio. But yeah, if I were APK, I would get angry if I heard something like that. I mean, they're professionals as well. They're good players in general here in Korea. But, you know, DAMWON talking some trash.
We'll see what APK can manage to do today, but also where's their mental state going to be at if they do fall behind relatively early on against DAMWON? Because realistically, you would have to consider yourself the underdog and know that you are for obvious reasons coming into the match. And I really don't know what they're hoping to do. And the other thing that is worrisome is DAMWON starts on red side, which means that they're going to have counter pick available mid or top, whatever they basically please, which is much more of a problem for APK, who would be looking to sort of get some sort of an edge in either one of those two lanes. Not going to likely be able to find it, but we'll see what draft has in store for us. Obviously, we've seen some pretty exciting stuff in the last couple of days. We've seen Soraka.
Yeah, that was fun.
We've seen Yuumi. We saw Soraka yesterday in the LEC.
Soraka and Yuumi here on the same team at the LCK. And looks like we're ready to hop into pick and ban. And the question marks will soon disappear. We do have Keine in the mid lane. I don't want to call him Keen. Keine.
That's, yeah.
Keine. Okay. His name is Keine. It's very different from Keen, so that makes me happy. So we can distinguish the two. As Set will not be first picked, but he will be first banned.
Yeah, he's gonna get first banned.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Let's take a look what DAMWON is going to ban away against APK. Looks like it's gonna be the Pantheon.
Yeah, we haven't seen much Pantheon at all. They're banned out the majority of games. Another champion that has been banned 16 times and not played is Akali. So I wouldn't be surprised if she gets taken out here in game 17.
DAMWON will ban her away. APK having also removed the Lucian, as Syndra is now taken off the table.
Yeah, Syndra. We did see one game of Syndra yesterday. Didn't amount to a win, as Kuro wasn't able to pilot that to a victory, even though he had a great game one, an MVP performance, a POG performance, you might even say. And then a great performance on Zoe the next game, even though they did lose. As Elise also going to be taken off the board, so none of that aggressive jungler coming on in. Aphelios will be picked up here as the first pick. Very standard for APK.
See if DAMWON just want to respond to MF, Lee Sin, or something of that nature. R1, R2, AD jungle. Never mind, it's actually going to be R1, R2, Zyra Khan. So a very fast 1-2 punch response.
Yeah, and you'd have to imagine with how quickly that happened that they knew that Aphelios was going to be first picked, and they had this planned coming into the bot lane.
And Rumble now being hovered. It will get locked in. APK, supports are wide open, so you might just want to choose a jungler here. There's no real reason to pick a support, given that there's no bans allocated towards them, and there's plenty of options against Zyra Khan down there in the bot lane, but we'll see what ends up happening. It is actually going to be a jungle. Remember, Rumble in theory is able to be flexed 3 roles. Also, Olaf is able to be flexed 2 if a Mordekaiser would come in. Olaf into Mord is probably Mord's worst matchup in top lane that you can possibly get.
And so Mordekaiser is just going to be ignored for now. We don't see it picked or banned in the first phase of the pick ban.
DAMWON gonna have to most likely decide if they're gonna want to pinch supports or it's a very awkward spot. I think support is the only thing that you can really go with here. And the reason that I say that is because you don't know exactly where Rumble is going. And so allocating bans that could just be empty in themselves is a bit unfortunate. Now you can also try to guillotine Rumble into going mid lane by trying to pinch, but still, the pools are still so wide open that it would be a little difficult to do so. APK banning Aatrox. So I feel like that's giving away that Rumble is likely going to be going top lane. Aatrox, one of the few champions that can actually just neutralize him or go even. Nautilus banned away now by DAMWON. This means that Leona will still be up.
Aurelia picked up there. I heard the sound of something being picked twice. Not sure if that was a bug in the system, but either way, Aurelia is banned. And I thought maybe we were having a immediate follow-up pick, but not yet. DAMWON putting some time into this. And they're going to go with Jarvan most likely. J4 picked up for the side of Canyon.
And now APK, what you're looking at is enormous amounts of short range, super hard engaged champions. And honestly, champions like Cassiopeia aren't even that bad here. Leona is fine as a support champion. They're hovering Thresh though. So we will have, obviously, the ability to bring an ally to safety. Cassiopeia would be going in semi-blind. It's most likely going to be the Ryze in the mid lane, but let's see what they end up selecting. Hopefully it's not something completely off theme. And yeah, we well,
good start.
We almost made it there.
Yeah, good start to the day.
They just couldn't help themselves from trying to sin. That's all.
They were holding on right till the end. They were doing so well.
Now, the really cool thing, though, is that Jarvan's Cataclysm can work against DAMWON now with the Keine, but also you have the glorified combo of the Equalizer and Keine just trying to come in and do massive things, which a lot of people tend to get overly excited for. When you're ahead, it feels very win more. It's extremely oppressive and very little options for the losing team to play against, but when it's even or behind, it's very lackluster. They use their whole combos and then you just sort of kill them anyway.
Yeah. And if you can avoid them, it's like, oh, I guess we just win the fight, especially because we're ahead. And yeah, there you have it. First pick ban of the day. You see that Ryze does get flexed into the top lane for Nuguri, going up against Rumble for ikssu. And the counter pick was saved for the mid lane for ShowMaker. So LeBlanc into the Keine. You were talking about that kind of as a counter matchup yesterday.
So in a vacuum, I mean, they have some counter matchups literally just like that in a vacuum. Thresh, Philios, Keine, Olaf, and Rumble. Gonna be the team composition for APK. They fall behind, there's no coming back. And if they're on even footing, one bad fight spells lights out, but one good fight doesn't necessarily spell a victory. Given the scaling on the side of DAMWON, Ryze, Jarvan, LeBlanc, Xayah, and Rakan. Obviously, much more capable of going the distance. They also have the counter matchup in the middle lane. And the Keine is really important to the enemy team comp, so we'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah, and we are going to jump on a Summoner's Rift right now for game number 1 here. DAMWON versus APK. Going into this one, APK looking to fight back against the poor showing that they did show against Sandbox their first time around. DAMWON, as you mentioned, kind of had their wins stolen away from them. Very close games up against SKT to start off LCK 2020. I say SKT, but it is, of course, T1. Still getting used to that as we do come along. All the cool skins being shown off now.
Don't worry about it. No, it is.
Yeah?
Not a big deal.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Did Joe say that? Fine. He's like, oh yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can say SKT. We don't mind.
It just means Super T1. Clearly.
SKT.
Yeah.
Super, what's the case stand for?
You know what?
Super Korean T1.
Yes.
Oh, there we
Correct.
go. Okay,
there
great.
You go.
Yeah.
There, saved.
We got a little small invade coming on in here.
Okay, well.
Nuguri is going to spot it.
And we are off to Sinning right at the very start.
Up to the races. Into the enemy jungle. There is also a ward placed in the bottom brush that could spot for the enemies going into the lane.
ShowMaker did just miss 1 CS, so I feel like we can just go next.
Yeah, restart the scrim. Whoa. Oh, he missed 2.
Having a bit of an off day here to start things off. That definitely does not feel good. Okay, so Jarvan is going to do blue into red. Olaf is going to counter jungle the Raptor camp. They're going to leave 1 behind. Ikssu might try to pile up 3 waves and then dive the Rise with the Olaf after he ends up completing the Golem camp. Depending on what Rise ends up doing inside of the lane, although maybe Rumble is just trying to pull the wave so that Rise is overextended. As we take a look at the wave in mid lane, Keine currently shoved underneath the turret. ShowMaker not really doing a very good job at CSing though.
Yeah. It's kind of that desperate push and ultra harass that can sometimes happen in solo queue that leaves you vulnerable to ganks and stuff like that, but not really happening just yet. The Jarvan is inside the enemy jungle. He left 1 small Raptor, took all of the Krugs. They had a ward up in the top side placed by Nuguri on the Krugs, so they knew exactly where Olaf was. So that meant that Canyon could just, you know, say, hey, okay, we're going to go vertical jungling. That's all good and fine.
This is actually really good right now. You can notice ShowMaker pulling the 4th wave into him, and he's also going to have the 5th wave coming in. And this lines up very nice for Jarvan, but also ShowMaker, depending on what either one of them would want to do. ShowMaker not really gankable, and Flawless even having to come into mid, because if this lane gets to continue going the way that it is, Keine is going to be locked up for the 6th wave, and that would definitely be problematic if she stays inside the lane. So Flawless comes in, helps Keine get his recall off. We'll see what his first item is going to be. Boots and a longsword, so doesn't quite have the gold for mobility boots.
Looks like almost exactly mirrored jungles, except that the Olaf is 1 camp down as he didn't do the wolves. Jarvan backing a little bit later just to take that time as he was on that side of the map.
Top lane, there's already a noticeable CS deficit growing between Nuguri and ikssu, although there is quite a lot of minions actually for ikssu to eat.
Not sure about that trade.
Well,
Nuguri got really aggressive and ate a full flame spitter in the
oh
face.
my god.
And now he's being baited into a fight. He's going to Rune Prison down ikssu. And now trying to fight onto Flawless, but he's just going to get flashed on and die. Nuguri with a bit of a mistake there in the laning phase. First blood going the way of ikssu after baiting Nuguri into that fight.
That's a very big kill to get this early on. Rumble, you can see the recall into Merc Treads, also has his lane state in a position where he doesn't need to use teleport to get back, so... Well,
Yeah.
heavy trade,
down here.
heavy trade happening in bottom.
The root from the Gravitum did land from Aphelios, and so that's why they really got it going, because BeryL felt like he had to tank in the front for his girlfriend, Zaya.
Well, how do you know that they're not maybe engaged?
I mean, could happen. Wow, that was a very safe flash out of Keine. You don't see that all the time. Sometimes players will just take the, you know, take the bait of not flashing and be a little bit greedy. But we'll take another look here at the top lane.
And this is just Nuguri greeting for absolutely zero reason in the world. Because even if he trades against Rumble here, when he casts the spells on Rumble as Rumble's blowing up the minions, Rumble's never in lethal range. So because Rumble's never in lethal range, you're just wasting your time, and then you're gonna lose minions that are coming in from the next wave. So Nuguri doing his best to actually deny himself over 100 gold. Ended up getting killed in the process.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a great feeling, for sure.
It's not a winning line.
No, definitely not. He is doing well in terms of CS. But that kill definitely an unfortunate one, as it was first blood on top of that, so the Rumble gonna get a nice little boost in the top lane.
Flawless just continuing to try to power farm. And XP point, ShowMaker and Nuguri really leading this. What happened? Oh, okay. Flawless took a bit of XP from both mid and top laners.
Yeah. Looks to be the case, as he's about to hit level 6 right now, already on his red buff. Should have it after that. We'll see where he decides to go. Could even decide to go onto the dragon early if he wants to get that objective started. There's no real actual gank that he could go for, so the dragon is going to be the obvious choice here, especially with LeBlanc backing. Kind of be a bit of a free one that you can pick up.
The thing about the Cloud Dragon is that it's not very high priority for anyone on DAMWON. So they're going to be fine to just give this one up. Ocean Dragon's going to come up second.
Oh, wow.
And
Secret, you got to land those. He was walking in a straight line.
If you are a DAMWON fan, you probably want to see a Mountain Soul come up. And I mostly say that because if you do get added resistances against this APK team composition, it'll really help in negating anything that the Kiana and Rumble can actually do in the later stages, and then ultimately if you can complete to the soul, you will just likely outright win. As yeah, we're having a bit of a slow game. How was your night, Valdez?
My night last night?
Yeah.
Kind of went home and passed out. It wasn't really too eventful. It was a long day yesterday. We had 6 games in total. And
yes.
I think now that's 6-5-6, if I'm not mistaken. Or 6-4-6. I can actually confirm that right now. So yeah, it's 6-4-6. So a total of already 14 games. That, oh no, that's 16 games.
That's 14 games, Valdez.
16 games that you do have under your belt.
Thank you.
You're here in number 17. How does it feel? Is your voice holding up? Are you gonna make it through the week?
I actually feel my throat is feeling some pressure right now.
Well, it's gonna have to take a rest. Flawless is gonna win that smite fight here. And looks to be the end of the fighting for now. Nuguri was coming down, but ikssu in position to stop it. Very early Shelly take here by the side of Flawless, who did also take that one. Nice little death sentence here, but it is recon, so they're not going to overcommit. Taking out, so just the Rift Herald will go down. No other action. So how's your throat doing?
My throat is definitely a little sore.
Okay.
And feeling a little strained.
As it should.
I'm planning to go and get some stuff between the first series and the second series.
Between the series, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That'll hopefully help out.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does. Well,
I mean,
yeah,
getting stuff
I mean,
that
yeah, you know. Thought you were making like a pun.
No pun there.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
Take a look at the farming here from DAMWON across the board. They're all above 100 in the lanes. Before anyone on the side of APK is. Finally, we do have Aphelios getting there, but you talked about the vacuum counter matchup in mid that has not been affected really at all by any junglers, and that does mean that ShowMaker is going to get ahead here. Top lane, even though Nuguri died, we talked about how he had that CS lead and has been doing well since.
This is always the interesting thing about Keine and competitive is either she doesn't get to roam and then she doesn't look like she serves any purpose other than constantly getting shoved in and going down 30 CS, or she's roam city and even though she has 40 CS, she has 5 kills. So it's really great. But Keine and competitive is a very interesting thing to look at because you play it in solo queue, you play it in scrims where everything is just much less controlled, as weird as that sounds to say about scrims, and you can have a lot of success with it, and then you come out on stage and everyone's more cautious. Everyone's playing safer because you don't want to be the reason that you mess up and cost the team the game. So already, I mean, he's down 31 CS, Seeker's Arm Guard for ShowMaker, as well as the Lost Chapter and a Dark Seal. Team at finally completed for the Keine, but in every single lane, everyone's just losing on their own. And then when you factor in that you have such a awful champion such as Olaf, the longer that this game ends up going, just had to weave that one in there.
Yeah. He had a great game yesterday, though, our boy Olaf.
Yeah.
Had
you know what?
A pop-off moment. He earned player of the game from 10 out of 12 people.
This reminds me of, well, hold on.
Here we go. That's going to be knocked into the wall. Dead sentence.
That was
It's
really
going to be perfect. Nice play by Secret as Olaf trying to do some axe throwing. But now that the fight has ended with ShowMaker dying, it doesn't look like DAMWON are going to bite any more bait. But that does mean now 4-on-3, they can try to push the issue up here in the top side, even 5-on-3 with the bottom lane entirely coming on up here. Rift Herald is going to go down. They're not going to wait to take out 2 plates in order to try to take it out right away with the Rift Herald. They're just going to try to push it in as fast as possible. Probably just get 4 plates here. Maybe even 5, as nobody's coming up to defend.
Yeah, no one's coming to defend. Instead, DAMWON putting their attention in mid lane as Nuguri spending a lot of mana. And Canyon, meanwhile, trying to get that Ocean Dragon. At the end of all of this, though, even though first turret went the way of APK, there's one more plate in mid. It does not look like Nuguri's going to be able to get it. But when all is said and done, because of the XP gaps in every single lane.
바통 가능? 야, 봐봐.
So let's try this. Let's try this.
LeBlanc.
They keep saying LeBlanc.
천천히 봐.
Go slow, go slow.
Yeah. And that was Keine. For a second, I thought it was ShowMaker, and I'm like, you see them in the brush. Where are you going? But that was not the case.
And there is the Mountain Drakes.
Mountain Drakes do come out.
So DAMWON fans can feel a little bit better. If you're APK, you're probably not feeling as good about that. But if you do end up picking up those dragons and you start building some magic resistance, Canyon is going tank Jafar for Far?
Jafar.
He's going
Jafar.
Jafar.
That's like the center J4. It's like when you go 80 and not tank, it's Jafar.
Sinbad the Sailor over there.
Yeah.
Oh no. Jafar.
Thankfully, most of our J4 players are just, straight up Jarvan, Prince Jarvan. Very nice and wholesome. They like to go tank. They are not too big of sinners in this league.
Well, gold score is completely even right now as we're just going to continue to have ping pong with the side lanes here. This is absolutely exquisite. As Olaf going to come in here, fighting with the blue sentinel, casting those axes. Now this, come on, play by play it.
No, I thought we might just switch it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, break it down. What's going on
Yeah,
now?
you can see that he was doing that really quickly. He didn't want Keine to miss any CS in the top side. Fortunately, is going to miss some CS, so, you know, you have to wonder, what was the idea behind the play, LS? Take it away.
Take it away.
You got it.
I think that we need to do casting done quick.
Passing done quick.
All right.
You mean like
Narrate
speed
it
runs,
right
or
here.
you mean like people on a bench? Like not really. I mean that's
Yeah.
basically what we do anyway.
Take a look at Keine here as she treads through the water in the river,
Yeah.
through the brush, as she's now pathing northwest. Not quite sure what her longitude, latitude is right now.
You see, she had to slightly move to the left side
She
because
did.
that's where the Rift Herald Shirley comes
Yeah.
out, and
She was trying to visit Shirley.
you can try to go for the skip where you go through the Rift Herald pit,
Correct.
but it's such a frame perfect move that
Yes.
actually most people don't do it because it could just destroy your run.
Quite.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could just die right there and then it's over.
Yeah, I truly am understanding and picking up what you're putting down here.
Oh, that's good.
As Keine, it does seem like his GPS is broke. Doesn't seem to really know where he's going. He's going to need to update that in the next model.
Who, Genie? Keine?
Keine.
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 Keine, it's Keine. Come on. Isn't
All
it
right.
obvious? Like, Keine.
All right, everyone's beating up on Shirley here. I don't know what
Keine?
this is. God, they never let her be alone. Oh, man.
Ooh, that actually is going to land. Has the Feather Storm, but does have to flash. Knew that he was going to walk right into that box. Did not want to head on in there. So the Rift Herald comes down here, surely, as APK are trying to push to some kind of lead. They will pick up the mid-tier 1, but not the most massive lead so far in this game, only 500 gold.
If I just learned anything about what I just saw on my screen, it's that Shirley is a home wrecker. That is...
Home wrecker, like home wrecker?
No, a home wrecker.
Oh.
Get out of here.
I thought you meant like the item.
No, no
I
one
thought
builds that.
I thought we were still talking about League of
No, we're
Legends.
not.
Didn't you get removed?
Zerot's removed. And Banner of Command.
Yeah,
Have a
I
moment
mean,
of
that was-
silence for that one. One of the best items in the history of the game.
Wasn't that like the big thing when you and I first started casting together in 2017? Like Tank Scion,
Yeah.
Banner Command, or was that 2018?
Banner of Command Ornn was before its time, okay?
Yeah.
We missed out on that. That would be a great thing to still witness. I wish Banner of Command was still in the game.
It was pretty cool
It was.
when you buff it up with the Banner Command and then also the Baron buff.
Yes.
And they just had massive raid and they
Oh,
just
yes.
nuke your turrets. And it was like, oh, we actually can't do anything.
Valdez, you are getting me overly excited right now. As
We didn't have a
Nuguri-
lot of Soraka back then, though.
We did not.
I know you love Soraka.
Personally, I do. That is
Yeah.
what LS stands for. So.
You have, you've formally announced it that you are in love with Soraka. Still have yet to get a response though from Soraka.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. Mountain Drake coming down here. You see Nuguri does have his TP. I don't see any wards for him to really TP onto behind the team. For now, it looks like a very slow take of the dragon here by APK. They have to be careful about this. They're going to send Aphelios mid. The rotation will be slow from the mid lane from DAMWON, so they will just give this one away. They say, it's only the second mountain, or the second Drake for them. We still have 2 Drakes before they get a soul. We'd rather get the money, and we can pick up all the mountain Drakes later on in the game if we do decide to go in there. I think LS, they've identified that their team composition is going to be much better later on in the game.
Yeah.
They're really not trying to force anything.
They're just taking everything very slow. Giving up the Mountain Dragon, though, is a little questionable, given that there is some resistances on the side of APK, and also you do have that LeBlanc and a tank Jarvan who's already not dealing damage. Just going to tickle them.
Yeah, he doesn't really do much. He engages.
Now, the fortunate thing here is that DAMWON are basically playing a 5 versus 4. You might locate a heavily bearded man named Olaf.
For a second, I thought you were talking about Kiana. I'm like, she doesn't have a beard. What are you talking about? I mean, she's 1-0, but yeah, we'll see how that goes later on. But yeah, Olaf going for Warrior and now into a Durham's Fist.
You know, yesterday when Olaf got the MVP,
Yeah.
that was like
the
when
POG.
it's like when Rihanna gets all the credit for Sia's songs.
What a sea of songs.
Sia.
Oh, Sia songs.
Get out of it.
Oh,
I am
okay.
so done with you. You are so...
It's your Rhode Island accent. How was I supposed to understand what you were saying?
Oh, now we're making fun of accents here. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
what my New York accent
Yeah,
is totally gone.
I think I need to @ Twitch support or something. I don't know what's going on here. Oh,
Oh
man.
boy. But why would Rihanna? I don't know. Doesn't Sia like?
Sia wrote a ton of songs for so many famous artists that were big hits.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
That's
think
right. Okay.
I think that she wrote Titanium as well.
That sounds
And
right.
then
yeah.
Sia just started singing herself, and then blew up. So yesterday when Soraka and Yumi were putting in all the work,
Yeah.
there's Olaf taking all
boy,
the credit.
ikssu. Not sure about this one. Really getting caught in there, but I guess Keine coming in and Nuguri saying, "Hey, why are you getting so aggressive?" Must have seen the Keine making her way down the lane.
Okay, well, I think Nuguri is going to die because he can't resist himself. He needs to walk up for that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, man, he actually did. I am extremely impressed.
Well, it looked like he was going to run up, but then Keine showed himself, so I feel like it was more a fault of Keine, if anything.
And right now, the other thing is you have Leandri's on Rumble. He's going Zanya's Hourglass, second item. So I personally don't mind that, especially because you're getting Mountain Drake. So I guess you're getting a little bit more value out of them if you do end up picking them up. But also, against the LeBlanc, even against the J4 or the Rakan, the active stasis can actually be really valuable. Every other item on the champions are pretty standard across the board. So nothing too unusual happening, but we truly are in very deep lull state.
Yeah, I've been lulled to sleep by your voice already.
What?
You know, I had a friend who was like, I love your listening to your cast. It's great. Right before I go to sleep, it really puts me to sleep.
Yeah, how much you PayPal him?
No, he said it like as a compliment, but it was actually like one of those backhanded compliments. But he didn't even realize that's what it was. He was like, "Oh, it's just so soothing and smooth. Like I could listen to it all the time, but I use it to fall asleep." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, bud." Anyway, we do have an engage here. Canyon in this one. Keine in the stealth is going to get that Lantern out here, but Rakan getting a big engage. But where's the follow-up? Where is everybody from DAMWON? Finally, ShowMaker's going to get on in there and make something happen.
Rise is actually just solo queue Rise right now. He's endlessly split pushing without any response. And even though BeryL just went in there and didn't really achieve too much, he did give ShowMaker the ability to get in and kill the Keine. But this game is going a lot slower than I think many people had anticipated. It's also a lot closer than what people might think, although Rise really doesn't have an answer. Once he gets that Righteous Glory, he's going to be able to dog anyone down in lane. The added stats, resistances, etc. are also going to be super big. Flawless.
Canyon, I don't know about this. He does have the stopwatch. Maybe just trying to bait the enemy team on in here. Nuguri just going to 1v1. Keine looking for the follow-up. Meanwhile, in the team fight up top, Secret is going to get a nice death sentence, but it's not quite enough. Nuguri here, not sure about that fight. Does flash the wall and survive for now. Kaine's still looking for him. It's the burst enough it is, and he will trade 1-for-1. As the fight up here on the top side, you can see that Hybrid and Nuclear still at full health, and they're going to be the main guys going for it. That miss on the engage isn't enough. The Featherstorm will be pulled back, but Nuclear is going to be outplayed. The damage is too much, and Hybrid is just going to shut the ball down with the triple kill.
So I feel like right now DAMWON just got Aladios as they dove onto him for absolutely no reason. They could have danced a little bit longer, waited for Nuguri to come back up, ShowMaker, because those are the real champions that APK doesn't have a response to. But now, APK threatening Mountain Soul in 5 minutes Let's take a look at how this all transpires. Leroy Jenkins coming in here onto Flawless with his teammates light years away. Finally, they do end up joining the fray as Secret goes golden against ShowMaker, who ends up getting hit by a chain just south of this. Rise and Kiana going blow for flow. Aladios doing quite a lot of damage as he continues to walk forward. ikssu just getting lit up by the blue mage down there around the red buff. Equalizer, not really equalizing anything. In fact, I think he burned himself alive there.
Yeah. It's kind of a sad laning situation for ikssu right now. Nuguri able to make a 2 out of 1 happen.
And, you know, he did get the bonus goal.
Not sure about this from
yeah,
APK.
This is a pretty big throw.
This is 5-on-5, okay? You've had them throwing into you for so long, but now...
Oh, he
Canyon, he missed it, and then Baron goes to Aphelio somehow, but is the damage there? For DAMWON, they could have enough as LeBlanc's going in. Nuguri and ShowMaker still alive in this one. Looking for the damage. They are going to chase down ikssu, but it's going to get sniped by the missile. As in will go Nuguri. Does he have the damage, though? He has a massive shield, and that is way more than enough. As where was Aladios in all of this? He was a lot of nowhere. Wasn't able to get in there with his teammates, and so he'll be the only one right now in the game with the Baron buff.
Slow down there, Canyon. I don't know what you're approaching.
Where is he going?
I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows what he's looking at. He's like, is that a new Pokemon? Or?
He put the blinders on. He's just running
You know what
forward.
Aphelios is like? It's like Arceus. Arceus? I don't know how to pronounce it. Get out of here. Put on a different plate every time. Whatever. As we take a look at the replay from a couple of moments ago, and this was really cool. That's a cool champion.
It's a lot of shurikens.
You can actually get that in the shop for a certain amount of blue essence or RP.
Yes.
Which I personally do recommend. Anyways, Baron went the way of APK, but Flawless doing the best Olaf thing that he does, ends up getting dogged down. ikssu managed to throw one harpoon into ShowMaker's face as Keine tried to come up here to avenge the Rumble, but not going to be able to do it. And now, Death Cap on the rise for Nuguri. LeBlanc is sort of stuck at the same items though. Luden's and Zanya's Hourglass.
Yeah, and we do have the Mountain Drake coming up here in 2 minutes, so this is an interesting kind of thing where, you know, APK has this earlier game team that needs to get ahead, but now they're only 1 Drake away, and if they do pick that up, that could help them. The only thing is that their team comp doesn't really build that many resistances. You know, you have the Zonyas and the Merc Treads, and all that thought as Equalizer does come down. Nuclear in a little bit of trouble, but is going to be able to walk away from that one. ShowMaker being a huge nuisance in the back.
Oh.
Big Cataclysm onto 3. In goes the Recon. Everybody charmed up, but where's the follow-up damage? Looks like Hybrid is still really healthy in the back. It's going to get nuked by Rise, it looked like. But hey, how about full health? How does that sound to you? As Aphelios doesn't really feel anything in this moment in time. It's going to go away, though. They're not going to continue on the push. It ends up just being a 2-for-2 at the end.
Yeah, and a 2-for-2 is... Oh.
This is Hybrid on Aphelios.
So I got LeBlanc.
Oh, nice lifesteal. Wow.
Yeah, that's really cool.
He's a pretty good champion. I might pick him up in the store.
Yeah, I mean he's in the store. You can get him for either blue essence or RP.
Yeah, but first of all, you're gonna wanna go into Twitch Prime and give that out to your favorite streamer, whoever that may be.
Flawless.
Just kidding. Don't do that. We do have the Mountain Drake coming on in. And this, as I mentioned, it's Mountain Soul for the side of APK. DAMWON should be looking to deny this.
Okay, well, total gold. Hybrid leading the chart by only about 130, 140. As still, this is APK threatening Mountain Soul. And this could be a really big upset.
Oh, they found him!
Okay.
They got Nuclear in the back. Why was he there all alone? A really nice jump on him, though, by APK. As now it's 5v4, and their AD carry is so fed. ShowMaker trying desperately to make it a 4-on-4. Might just come down to Canyon here. He's got to go for the steal, but he will not, as Mountain Soul is going to be the objective taken here by APK.
They're going to turn this into a mid-push. It would be pretty hard for them to lose at this point. LeBlanc is being invalidated now at this stage by those 3 Mountain Dragons, giving the 18% resistances. And also now, the Soul just having so much more HP is going to be that much more problematic. Nuguri, he hits for a lot of damage. He's going to be able to, I think, get the inhibitor.
Yeah, he will,
Okay,
for
so
sure.
here's the way that DAMWON can still win this game. We're going to have a really
Nuguri.
chaotic team fight, a teleport into bot lane.
They're just going for the win right now. We don't need to
They
listen
need
to
to-
your shenanigans,
wait.
LS, as they are going for it here.
No way!
They're just delaying the back.
No!
Okay, Equalizer's gonna come down.
Are
They're
you?
just going for the autos here on the Nexus. Is it gonna be enough, Nuguri? He's fighting now instead. He's just gotta auto the Nexus here. He has that shield.
Are
One
you
more,
kidding me?
And he's going to end the game. Nuguri with Nuclear. Get on inside. And they make the Nexus go down. I cannot believe that they actually won that game. Oh man, LS is literally speechless right now, as you can imagine by his name. That was a bit of a blunder, I'd have to say. I think the MVP is going to be obvious in the hearts of both of us. I'll let you write it down.
Yeah, I'll take
There you go. Yeah. Thank you very much.
all part of the plan.
Yeah. You know, we just wanted to
Listen,
make this series
this
a
is
little
why,
bit interesting.
This is why you're up here with me and not down there, okay? The Zaya knew that getting caught out at that exact moment, dying, and then having Canyon fail the steal,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange personified. Yeah, he knew.
It's all the butterfly effect,
This was
you
the
know?
one.
Because
okay, so.
by giving the Mountain Drake, they feel forced to push down the mid lane, and that's when you get them right in your grasp and you stop them from backing.
I don't want to hear it, Valdez.
And that's exactly
I
how
don't
you
want to
win
hear
the
it.
game.
I'm not interested. Personally, not
It's
interested.
incredible.
You know, you want to get better,
Incredible play on
you
a
need to be able
DAMWON.
to know that this is what's going to happen here. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. DAMWON, just really great stuff. Flawless game, I mean, let's
Yeah.
just say.
Yeah, very clean.
Unbelievable.
Very
I mean,
clean.
This team obviously going to win Worlds from here. I don't know what to say. But I think we are going to take a look at some of the last team fight here.
All right, so all that they have to do is stop the backs at this point. And ShowMaker trying his best. Rumble eventually does get it off, but Nuguri, BeryL. Oh, that feather tap.
Oh, but he got back.
Oh, because the shield.
All right, this is Nuguri's pro view.
Ah, that's... He's not using F keys. That's not impressed. Okay, a little less efficient.
Okay.
But taking a look. He said, can we try to end?
Yeah. Take the teleport.
Let's try this. And what a decision to actually turn to deal the damage, force the stasis. It was really close.
He didn't say anything. He cackles.
I think he
and
was
then he
in
just takes his
disbelief
headset
as
off.
well, but that was really a Rise v9
It
sort
was.
of a game where he did a whole lot of nothing, but he did take a lot of turrets. So, put up a lot of eviction notices is what he did.
Yeah, I mean, that was just flawless effort there.
Yeah, I mean, it
by
was-
the side of DWG. I mean, they all played incredibly.
It was clean.
Canyon did more damage than the
Absolutely.
Thresh. That was just, I really got to give him the thumbs up for that one. more than 400 damage more than the Thresh. I mean, that was a good idea to go for that one. So,
Listen,
yeah.
this is why you just don't get it, you know?
No, I get it. I get it. That was a great end by Nuguri nonetheless. Seriously, I mean, he basically took it into his own hands and said, let's try to end the game. And then they just made the decision like that. He made the split-second decisions to fight so that he could get 1 or 2 extra auto attacks. And had he done even one thing differently, the game would not have ended, and maybe APK would have won game number 1. So really got to hand it to Nuguri. He should be the obvious player of the game from game number 1, although you never know with some of the people that vote over here. But either way, guys, we are going to go to a quick break. We'll be back. Thank you, G-Sun, as always, for the wonderful translation of the analyst desk. I love their kind of sarcastic, oh, who's going to be the player of the game? Oh, I have no idea. Like, that's what they were doing on the desk. And, of course, it was Nuguri that does pick it up. A solo carry. Nobody, the
You mean
top
DB
laner.
Cooper.
Who?
I'm so done with you, honestly. I need Max.
DB Cooper?
DB Cooper.
Is that like some kind of like...
I am just get out.
It's okay.
Off the desk.
When your voice doesn't make it to tomorrow, me and Atlas can have a fun time.
Oh.
It'll all be good. He'll make references that I can understand. And yeah, so we're going into game number 2.
You don't know DB Cooper.
No, who is that?
He's the guy that hijacked a plane and stole money and then parachuted out of it and was never
Monkey
found.
W.
Same way that Nuguri just realm warped and took the neck. I'm done with you. Get out of here.
I see what you mean.
No, you know what? You're a little too much of a... No, and actually, if you were a boomer, you'd probably know that.
I would know that, yeah.
Yeah, you're like a...
I'm such a millennial.
I don't know, you're a Homer Simpson. That's what you are.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Just stop.
I thought I was missing some kind of Simpsons reference.
All right. APK banning the Akali Syndra and Set as DAMWON banning the Pantheon, Rumble, and Keine. And Set has been getting enormous amounts of attention. I believe that Riot Scruffy just released a boards post yesterday, by the way, that talked about how, I think it's a 95% plus presence for 1 patch or more in Pro Play or something will result in nerfs. But Set did get nerfed.
Yes.
So in
Yes, he did.
10.3, which is next week, we'll see how much that actually sticks. And that'll be interesting, because there's been some mainstay bans. Also, 10.3 is the Akali kneecap patch, but then she did get micro buffed.
Yeah.
So, anyway, DAMWON, they're going to open with Aphelios here, as APK going to respond with Misfortune and Elise. These are all really standard openings. Honestly, we have not had much diversity outside of Hanwha Life in terms of
Hanwha Life.
Hanwha Life Esports.
They were the team that had a lot of diversity.
Yes,
Oh,
outside
okay. I thought you were saying right here that you were mistaking APK for Hanwha Life. I was like, what are you talking about?
Sure, I'm the one that's going on 4 days, or what? What is? Oh man.
Hey, it's your favorite champion, Nautilus.
What?
Nautilus made it back.
Okay.
He's
I thought you
here
meant
from the depths.
I thought you meant Aatrox over there.
Oh, no.
Not him?
No.
Alright, well, Leona is going to be picked up by APK, so we're just having handshakes all across the board here. Aatrox is going to be able to be flexed mid or top lane. APK now going to decide on what to ban away. As, realistically, I would assume jungler pinching should be the thing that would come in here. And that is what we're seeing so far. Rek'Sai going to be banned away. Banning away the Rek'Sai is a bit peculiar, because the Nautilus and the Aatrox are already selected, so those are just more champions that have to come into you, and you can draft around on R4, R5. Renekton now being banned away as a cliche, at least Renekton, but Renekton has been gutted so much by the removal of Spear of Sojin, and just seeing that as a combo in a vacuum. I mean, whenever Pantheon's open, are you going to ban Talia? Or there's so many bread and butter combos that are very ridiculous and get given too much credit.
Jarvan gets taken away. Canyon's Jarvan was not exactly impressive, but...
Oh, DAMWON lost last game.
Yes,
Even
they
though Nuguri stole it, DAMWON lost, okay?
Yeah, he hopped out of the plane after
the same way
stealing
that...
all the money.
Has it been long enough since Endgame? Can I
Avengers?
Endgame, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, well, Iron Man cheated. Alright, so that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. All right.
That's all. That's all I got for you. Mordekaiser.
I'll take your word for it.
Did you just say that you haven't watched Endgame?
Yeah, of course not.
Why
would I watch
I
that?
am done with you.
Why would I watch that movie? I wouldn't want to waste my time.
Oh my god.
LeBlanc is going to be the choice here.
All right, DAMWON going full sinner.
Ooh.
And there's no sinner better than Lee Sin.
It's in his name.
It's in his name.
He gets it. He's really on board with it, at least. You know, he's very genuine with the way he likes to play. He's not like a faker or anything like that. Not the player, you know, like somebody who's not true to who they are.
DAMWON, they have to get ahead with this team composition, and APK.
Wow.
So like I said, on R4, R5, you can actually draft champions that are designed to handle champs just coming into you recklessly. And that's what we just saw out of APK. R4 Mordekaiser, R5 Lissandra. And this is a Lissandra pick, or Lissandra spot. It's really hard to find Lissandra spots nowadays in the current meta where you wouldn't just otherwise prefer a LeBlanc. Or not a LeBlanc, Cassiopeia. But because the Nautilus single target lockdown that Lissandra's able to disrupt with her own ultimate, or just by using this Anya's Hourglass or stopwatch at several stages of the game, but also the amount of melees on the side of DAMWON, the fact that LeBlanc has to jump into her, Lissandra offers a lot more nuance than a Cassiopeia would be able to give. Even though Cassio is a really good pick here, there's just something a little bit better that Lissandra offers, and then also brings that kind of priority that one would want in the mid lane matchup once you have the post recall. So, APK with a much stronger draft. Is that going to mean anything, though, as Nuguri and ShowMaker are both on champions that allow them a lot of control and authority inside of the game? Canyon also on the Lee Sin. Just because APK have a much stronger draft, this is something I would personally say is like a 75-25 kind of a win.
Yeah.
I don't know if it means anything, again, because of skill discrepancy.
Well, we'll have to wait and see here as we are going to hop on the riff for game number 2. If DAMWON can throw the caution to the wind from the draft and say, we're going to win anyway. Does not matter what you want to pick. As Keine going on to a very different style of pick. We saw the Kiana out of him the first game around. Now he's going on a Lissandra with the Aftershock. So still going to pick up that rune after the changes.
And we'll see how the early game transpires. That's mostly what we have to pay attention to. First dragon of the game, I do believe, is a Cloud Dragon. So it's actually pretty big to pick up for APK. Less so for DAMWON, as a lot of their champions actually do tend to build CDR.
It's a lot of important ultimates on the side of APK as well, for the 4 of them, minus Elise. Bit of a scanner coming out here from BeryL. It's not going to find anything. As now they say, okay, you use that up there. You're not going to have it for the bottom side. We can place an early ward down just to make sure if Lee Sin wants to sin, he will be spotted the whole way through.
Taking a look at the runes everywhere. Gathering Storm on MF and on Aphelios. Everything else pretty standard across the board. Although, I guess she doesn't have another rune. Lissandra does have the Demolish. Demolish is a significantly worse rune nowadays, and here we go. Sinning as per usual.
God dang it, Lee Sin. Is that all you know how to do?
Alright, so
Love
really
it.
sets the pace in mid. You can see the lane control by ShowMaker pulling the wave in. This will make it so that Keine has to overextend potentially, or just use more of his mana in order to get something accomplished. Nuguri, crashing second wave, doesn't really have anywhere to go, and because he does this, he misses out on the ability to cheat a recall by keeping the wave. Had he kept all those spellcaster minions about 6 centimeters more to the left before entering into the turret, he can use them to help him shove the cannon wave really fast, leave Mordekaiser left underneath his turret trying to CS because he can't poke Mordekaiser, you can't really do anything to him, and then you can recall, you can purchase a call or a ruby crystal or something of that, come back to the lane on wave 4 and 5, have it on your side of the map, and make Mordekaiser overextend while being in close proximity to your Lee Sin would be really, really good. Also, have I told you about Trinity Force Atrox? We're not going to see it.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into it.
It's kind of a myth.
Today.
That
it is a bit of a myth.
You think it exists, or that it has existed at some point in life, but not so sure. Well, that's kind of giving it away, as Flawless is going to put his spider all the way forward, and they do know that he is down there as well. No Lissandra in the mid lane. Where could she be? It's either back in the base or going for a roam. So Cannon was right in position just in case. He'll pick up his creds right away, so no harm, no foul for him. Really curious about the top lane again, because ikssu, even after getting that early gank off with Flawless to punish Nuguri's greediness in the lane, he still lost the lane really hard.
Yeah.
Which, not 100% sure if that should be happening, but again, it is Nuguri in the top lane.
Well, we will see what is going to happen here as BeryL looking for a hook of some sorts. There's no minions that were about to die, so that would have been a very peculiar trade timing. As we're just having ping pong happen in top lane, as not too much is being achieved. ikssu is getting comboed on.
I like that play.
You know, I don't know why Nuguri is not using Prestige Edition Atrox.
Is that the Moth? The Moth
That,
one?
yeah.
The Moth Atrox?
Prestige Edition Atrox, I really do think is the best skin. Mostly because win or lose, the opponent sees the Prestige skin, knows that it costs a lot. It's sort of like foiling out your deck in a trading card game.
Yeah.
And I really just think that it probably makes you play better. You know, results may vary, but
You think so?
I do
Getting
think so.
all the gold cards and
Yeah.
stuff?
I think if you're an Atrox player, it's very important to have the Prestige Edition skin. I think you'd want to go into the store and pick that up immediately.
Okay.
Increase your skill level. Results may vary, of course, but
Well, he's going to knock him up straight into the queue. And that was extremely easy to pull off as long as Nuguri hits the first Q to make it happen so that he can land that one. ikssu perhaps should have just flashed to begin with, but maybe did not expect Canyon to be there.
well, at this point in the game, the Atrox getting a kill is very nice. Picks up the Kindle Gem as well as the Null Magic Mantle. Or the, yeah, Null Magic Mantle. I don't know why I just slipped up right there. Yeah. Don't make fun of me, Valdez.
That's the Null Magic Mantle.
Okay. Oh, top here?
He says, oh, I can kill top? Oh, I'm going. Dive, dive.
He's not using F keys.
He's not using F keys. Inefficient.
Eh?
Very bad for mouse.
He is using the space key, though.
Eh? Nice, eh?
Nice. Good job. Great.
Yeah. Very
Didn't say
straightforward.
great, I added that in
No,
there.
yeah, that was an LS thing.
Yeah, I was... It's fine. Okay, so... Coming back into the game, mid lane is up, top lane is up. Bramble Vest completed for the Mordekaiser.
They got fighting up on the top side in the Death Realm. Also, Keine not in the greatest spot here. Gonna get cocooned up. Now Nuguri, I feel like we've seen this before out of this player. He is gonna get 3-on-1 as he was pretty far down the lane after being put in the Death Realm and will be punished for that. Nuclear now gonna get engaged on a big amount of burst damage coming in. Nuclear trying to root them down and flash, and he will. But another stun gonna come down onto BeryL. It's all about if he can escape here with his life.
What?
TP is gonna come on in now, the heal being used. But Nuguri just gonna turn here onto Secret, takes the easy kill, rather than going for Hybrid and trying to get greedy, as Hybrid did have his flash still available. And so that does mean it is turned around with DWON picking up the kill.
And so now they're going to be able to convert into plates, and now Canyon, who is actually behind in jungle XP, 2 flawless. He's looking like that Dave Chappelle image, asking if he's got any more of that lane minions, as this is 10-2, so the jungle buffs are not present in this patch.
Yeah.
So anytime that the jungler has the opportunity to get some of those lane minions, they definitely want to take it. It's the most important thing.
Feels so good.
Yeah, it's the best time of the day for them, as Nuguri, he already ate the majority of the wave, so it's not like he's losing out on too much, but he does end up dying. Take a look at this trade. Nuclear and BeryL, they want to try to crash on this wave, but it's such a bizarre positioning by both of them as they're approaching. Nuclear flashes away and cleanses away. You can see BeryL, he's playing a game right here because he obviously can't queue into Secret. Teleport comes out. Hybrid, had he been spacing this a lot better, I'm pretty sure they can kill BeryL and then go 1-for-1, and then he can get out. But teleport came in from Nuguri. Only 1 play down in bot. Nuguri back now up in top lane. Almost has the phage completed. ShowMaker landed that chain.
Yeah, and he's got a second one where that came from.
And
Nice
that is a
amount of poke
lot
damage.
of damage. Yeah, that's quite a bit. He's going to go for another distortion, except onto the minions here. He may have just given up on trying to kill Keine. Yeah. Someone needs to Romanize this guy's name.
Romanize it.
That's what it's called, right? Romanization?
Well, from Hangul.
Yeah.
Yeah, you Romanize it, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, we got it. Keine
That's
coming up
not
on the
Romanization.
third. That's not Romanization. Yeah.
When
But
you get the Korean letters written, it's not Romanization.
When you take the Korean name and then Romanize it, it would not be spelled
Oh,
like that.
BeryL. Oh, BeryL. That's a really unfortunate position right there on the wall. Had his flash, but just decided I'm dead. That's about it. You got to be really careful when you're going up against Leona like that. Canyon looking for the kick on the flawless, but he is just going to flash away. TP from ShowMaker may have been a bit of overkill, but either way it is going to save Nuclear in the bottom side, and no one will die.
Well, Keine now managed to shove in the entire wave. LeBlanc going to have to decide what she wants to do with it now. Also, ShowMaker with the Merc Tread boots, so no lost chapter, not a lot of sustain. As BeryL, really important that he get that ward. Eats the entire bullet time. Just wanted to make sure that they couldn't see his final resting place.
Yeah. But then they just danced on his final resting place after they killed him. Does not matter.
Ocean Drake coming up in 20 seconds.
Wow, that's big jump up on there as Nuclear. He is going to get slowed up. He tries to clutch it, and ooh, nice sidestep, but not going to sidestep this one. As the burst damage will come in, but the exhaust may save him. No, not with the MF coming on in. As Flawless is going to have that repel and will get to safety. The 3-on-2 comes to fruition again in the bot lane as they're bullying them down there.
And meanwhile, up in the top lane, the Aatrox not really achieving all that much because Mordekaiser, Bramble Vest plus Ninja Tabi. Very, very difficult for Nuguri to do anything there, but Rip Carroll did get picked up. Hybrid up 8 CS right now. In bottom.
CS and 2 kills.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this one more time. They immediately decide to go on Nuclear, misses the Solar Flare, cleanses the slow, dodges the Zenith Blade, and then the Cocoon ends up hitting. BeryL tries to lock up Flawless, caps the exhaust to reduce as much damage as possible, but then Hybrid joins the fray, brings him down.
Yeah, had to flash to get on in there. Both Leona and the MF did to make that kill happen, but it's definitely worth it to bring down Aphelios once again. Now they have a 2-0 MF that is ahead on CS, as you mentioned. Having a grand old time down on the bottom side. The Mordekaiser this time around, kind of nullifying the top lane. The one guy that's really doing well overall on the side of DAMWON is the LeBlanc here, ShowMaker. 126 CS. Halfway through the 12th minute of the game, as, oh boy, he is going to get locked down, though, by that ultimate. It's really hard to lock down a LeBlanc, though. You really have to chain every single CC to make it happen, and they were just a split second late, so ShowMaker gets out alive.
Nuguri getting some turret plates up here in top lane. They're also summoning the Rift Herald here in mid lane. As Flawless and Secret rotate, okay, they are going to actually manage to get some of the plates.
You okay? Yeah, bet they will. They're gonna pick up 2 of them. Maybe even that third one that did come originally. Ocean Drake coming up here as ikssu, well, he was doing better earlier on, but not so much anymore. As he's getting just dove down here under the turret, though, in the Death Realm. Nuguri is just going to wait it out. Let's see if he continues on here. He is going to have that combo coming in. One auto is going to take him down. Nuguri just putting on a show in the top lane.
And so Nuguri now up there on the Aatrox, going to manage to get, well, he got 3 plates in total. It looks like he's not electing to actually stay to try to get that last one. And so Ocean Drake going to be picked up. Nuguri knowing that he needs to maybe teleport here.
Gonna go down as the LeBlanc. ShowMaker just so on top of his chains in this game. Another kill onto the MF that was all alone. Lots of squishy targets on the side of APK, and ShowMaker and Nuguri just making quick work of them here. Keine, he will survive for now. He will survive for good.
That's a little bit of an example of the difference between Lissandra and Cassiopeia. As minor as it is, this is a very repeatable situation that what we just saw. The Nautilus hook can't really get onto her, then she's able to escape with her Frozen Claw. She also has just so many options available that even in this brief moment, it's really nice to see. And yeah. So I got top. Mordekaiser no flash. Let's take a look at the replay here. And this is why Aatrox did not elect to stay in top lane. He wants to teleport into the fight. He ends up bringing down Hybrid. And now the game really does spiral completely out of control from here. 4,000 almost gold advantage. Ocean Soul or Ocean Dragon for DAMWON, as Infernal Soul is going to be the one that is coming up. Now, APK is teleporting.
And Nuclear has Flash and Cleanse available, is going to get out of there.
Keine was...
Keine.
Add a Y, man.
No Ys in this game, except Hybrid.
So...
Keine.
Then why'd you say no Ys?
No, I thought there wouldn't be Ys, but actually I was wrong.
Okay.
That was kind of a Twitch reaction to go for the teleport to try to collapse onto the AD carry.
Very panicked.
Yeah.
Because even if they end up killing Aphelios there, they don't get anything else. You're not going to get the bottom tier 2 turret. You're not getting mid tier 1 somehow magically. There's nothing of real value to get. Now, Death Realm is up on Mordekaiser. So Aatrox just has to respect that, backs off a little bit. Nuguri and ShowMaker leading the charts with Hybrid being only about 60, never mind.
Okay, ults are coming down. They really want to kill this Lee Sin, but Flawless is gonna get locked up. ShowMaker, though, gonna try to get in there. We'll see if they can punish him for it. Lots of damage coming out of Hybrid, but not enough to lock anyone down. You can see that's really all that APK have in the tank when they do go for a kill onto one of these members. So they're all very slippery. Adding in Nautilus to be a front line and add some CC. And when you are behind like this, about 4,000 gold, it is going to be hard to lock someone down like that. So they say, how about a rotation onto Nuguri? He's known to push. ikssu getting it started already. Canyon is here trying to burst down Hybrid, already doing a nice amount of damage, but will get stunned up and put in the death chamber. But Aphelios, he's having a fun time, is able to get on in there and take him down. Nuguri, in the meanwhile, did survive 1v1 against ikssu, and ShowMaker says, you know, I'll just TP to the bot lane, I'll be totally fine.
Yeah, and he's taking the bot tier 1 turret. He's going to get all that gold for himself. Also picks up a minion wave. Lissandra now going to rotate down to bottom to meet that cannon wave that's coming into the bot tier 2. We got 1 minute until Infernal Dragon, and LeBlanc has a Kindle Gem, which definitely a peculiar itemization choice here.
Protobell?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but that is peculiar.
That's definitely very bizarre. Surely picked up by Nuguri, going to be commanded by him this game. ShowMaker trying to do a lot of poke onto Keine.
Okay, we'll accept Keine.
You know what? Lissandra.
Yeah,
right,
just call him Lissandra.
I've had enough.
I do that sometimes. Say the champion name instead.
So Lissandra getting poked out like that, not having teleport available, means that it's going to take some time to join the fight here surrounding the Infernal Dragon. Also, Canyon might just steal away the blue buff. Or Flawless might smite it.
Okay.
And now that is one less smite that he has.
He's got another one coming on in here. Just look at the burst damage that comes out of LeBlanc on one of the squishies. At least immediately half health. But Nautilus in the front is being burst down. But he has a great item. It is called Stopwatch. It's going to give them so much extra time to survive. As everybody now just being burst down by the side of DAMWON, smacking them with their wallets, as Atlas would say. That is exactly what's happening here. Lissandra, she survives, but she just kind of wishes that her team was in a better standing here. The pick was good. She is 1-1, 1-0-1, but she can't do it all by herself, unfortunately.
Well, Shirley being summoned in bot lane, Canyon soloing the Infernal Dragon. And this is really spiraled out of control. 7,000 gold advantage here. About to be even more when you factor in the Infernal Dragon. As BeryL, ikssu, I don't really know what he was totally doing there on the Mordekaiser with his whole combo sequence. And then watch right here as the Luden's Echo proc. Boop. Bops right onto Elise.
Yeah.
야 사슬 무대 사슬 무대 잘 쳤어 무대 잘 때렸다 무대 잘 때렸다 야 미포 높여
That's saying misfortune no flash. Well,
yeah, you can see from his view, he was trying to land a chain to hit the
now,
wolves, and that's why it bounced.
That's the pro view. But I was reading some comments in the Reddit thread yesterday that said that LCK Pro View isn't available.
Yeah, I think it's only available in Korea, unfortunately, through SK Telecom, from what I know. But we do have a one-on-one here. ikssu's not having a lot of fun. Is going to be able to bop Nuguri back here. Now it's a one-on-two. Gonna flash in, try to burst him down. I don't know if that's gonna work as well. Flawless gonna make this a lot harder. Nuguri missing that one as here comes Nautilus, and the gang of all of his friends are gonna help him out as Flawless. He's so angry right now that he was not able to pull that one off, and now it is just a massacre in the bottom lane. A triple kill for the Lee Sin.
I feel like that really was Flawless for the for Nuguri there.
Yeah,
you know?
it was.
think that was, you know, I can't even make puns with their IDs. Sucks, man. I was gonna try to do something, but also Spirit Massage on Nuguri actually helping out a great deal there. Those were all 3 of the magic damage champions on the enemy team. So
I love how immediately we go into pro view of Nuguri.
Talking about who has ultimates. Overall, really good control. Pro views are really interesting to watch.
Yeah.
If you do ever make use of them. There are some subtle things that, you know, maybe aren't totally obvious, such as mouse cursor proximity to champion, which is what I
That's your new thing to talk about.
Yeah.
I've noticed. Every time we get into pro view now, it's all about proximity.
Because I've seen so much from, you know, watching streams or even watching other pro views from some Western players, and it's really sad to sometimes not see something like this.
Oh boy.
When you look.
Getting in there deep. Did ShowMaker go too far? No, he's LeBlanc. As he's just looking to go in even farther. If he could, but this is going to say APK. If you want to get near me, you're probably going to die. And now it is just the very systematic destruction of all of these turrets, one by one. Game feels pretty over here. 23 minutes in, 10,000 gold ahead. Really feels like the top side of the map, specifically Nuguri, Canyon, and ShowMaker have had highlight plays. And yep, there's another one. Just how about we just show off for the fans?
Yeah.
Right at the end, you know. You thought you had an 80 carry? Well, you don't.
Now, even though APK, they have a stronger late game, they're not going to get there. They would be 15, 16 minutes away of playing a 10,000 gold deficit, which is just not going to happen.
Well, everybody's just being elite down here, and ikssu somehow is going to win that fight. In goes the LeBlanc, is just distortioning on everybody up on the top side. It's disgusting. And Lysandra is going to get away. Canyon, you got to love it. He's not going to let ikssu get away alive. He's just waiting for the shield to go down, and we'll take him out there at the end.
I like how he dissipated.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Mordekaiser.
Mordekaiser.
Well, one inhibitor, the other one exposed in bottom lane. DAMWON just going to reset one last time, although Infernal was coming up in 10 seconds. I'm not sure why they wouldn't burst that down, then reset. So you can see Nuguri just being a little bit overeager down there, fighting Mordekaiser underneath that tier 3 turret. And, alright, so one little tidbit I can talk about, given that the game is over. Some people probably look at this and they're like, well, how does APK's team composition, how is it actually better? The way that the LeBlanc, Aatrox, and Lee Sin eventually end up itemizing is they get magic resistances that, outside of Aatrox, they really don't want to be purchasing. The Hex Drinker on the Lee Sin doesn't really matter when you're fighting a 4 or 5 item Mordekaiser, or even a 3 item Mordekaiser. It also doesn't matter against the Lysandra. If that's mattering against Lysandra, you're probably CC'd up or already dead if you're on even footing. And so these are items that you're being forced to build for no reason, whereas the items that they're building that make them tankier or allow them to continue on and sustain fights, they're the ones that they already want to be building in the first place. So it sort of staggers your itemization and then you're playing into them over and over, and they can function with lesser gold, but when the gold gap is 11,000, 2 Infernals, and level discrepancies, yeah, it's not going to look too pretty. But the other problem is the LeBlanc will eventually have more difficulty engaging if they were on even footing. Suddenly Lysandra are on LeBlanc is a really big problem. And then all of the disruption that is present on APK's team composition is really good, but they didn't make it there. They were having really stable laning phases, and then it all just blew apart
Yeah.
or fell apart in a very short amount of time.
Canyon says, I don't really need your guys' help, but if you want to make it happen quicker, we can get some help and two-man it. Keine in a bit of trouble here. You can see that he wasn't able to get that aftershock proc. Nautilus here just trying to zone him out. He's going to be forced to flash over the wall. The Baron not going down all that quickly. Canyon going to get a big kick down. Secret trying to get in there, but Nuguri's in your backline, and there's nothing that you can do. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Although Hybrid is going to be able to flash away. He is the only one that does get away with his life. We got TPs available on ShowMaker and Nuguri. They will go in to try to end this game lickety-split.
And that's going to be all that they wrote. So, for what was almost a Game 1 victory for APK to this game, looking a lot more like what we expected, where despite the lane matchups being the way that they were, Nuguri and ShowMaker still just won regardless, and had a lot more influence in doing it.
He got the kill. It's all worth because he was able to pick it up. He's gonna net Secret and Flawless. How about Keine? They're going for it, and they will pick it up. Triple kill ends up being the play as Shiju will come in. DAMWON able to close it out cleanly in game number 2. Honestly, though, that was what we expected from the entire series. We expected it to look like game number 2, but game 1, I mean, Nuguri was really the guy that went in there and stole the game away from APK and denied them an extra chance. Whereas this easily could be 1-1 right now in the series. So shout outs to him. He had a pretty fantastic day overall, even if his team kind of stumbled early on in game number 1 and got behind. He was the guy that we are definitely going to be hearing from in the interview. The question is, will he be alone, or will another guy be voted in as POG from the second game?
Yeah, and if you're APK, you look at game number 1, sort of like the one that got away. But with how game number 2 did go, which I think is much more representative to how the norm would be if these two teams collide over and over and over, even a big draft win was not enough. Now, bot lane did have glimmers of hope in this series. Nuclear and BeryL obviously historically always dubbed the weak link of DAMWON.
Well, mostly Nuclear, as BeryL had some really insane pop-off performances at Worlds on his Alistair.
Well,
but he was actually the literal Servants in game number 1 that got killed early so that he could teleport perfectly to try to end the game.
Yeah, I mean...
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Unbelievable play out of Nuclear. He should have gotten the player of the game.
He should have, actually.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Isn't Doctor Strange called Lord Supreme or something? I don't even know.
Yeah,
you don't even
probably.
watch Marvel. Get out.
Isn't that DC? I don't know.
I don't.
Aren't they the same thing?
What?
What is X-Men? Is that DC?
Oh my god.
I'm just doing this to troll you now.
The only thing more unclean than you right now was that Lee Sin kick on Elise at goal. Okay?
I mean, that's Lee Sin, right? He's the biggest sinner of them all.
Valdez, I don't want to hear it. You're going in.
We got another series to go.
We gotta talk, yeah.
We got a whole other series to go. And that second series should be a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
As it is going to be Gen.G up against Griffin. People are still, I feel, struggling to place exactly where Griffin is as a team. Gen.G was one of the rosters that everybody said was going to be top 3.
Yes.
Whereas Griffin, everybody's still unsure.
Griffin had insanely strong draft edges, if I recall, and ended up just not really winning the games. Tarzan, obviously, I mean, he went from the king of the jungle to George of the jungle in literally the span of one split, obviously being surrounded by different teammates. And Sword was actually one of the stable pieces in their last game.
Yeah.
But
surprising, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, you have to feel pretty okay with how things currently are.
sure. I mean, Griffin, I think they absolutely could put up a fight against Genji. Genji have a nice stacked roster, but it's early on in LCK Spring. I mean, there's so many more games to play and months to play for the teams to get their chemistry all together and for everybody to kind of get on the same page. So for right now, I wouldn't say it's a toss-up, but definitely some things can go wrong where you may not expect them, or maybe some things go pleasantly right for your team. So Nuguri, we both voted for him for player of the game for game 2, and I would expect to just hear only from him on stage. Yeah, there it is. We didn't want to spoil it, but thank you, production, for giving it out to us, as the damage taken per minute was over 1,000. He still managed to do so much in this game.
This was his teleport down in bot lane to turn this around, as well as his solo kill there as he just stabs the Mordekaiser. Now, another cool thing about this was also he was the hero of the game in game number 1, so hopefully we get to hear about that in the interview. As right here, this was just him putting on a little bit of a showmanship against the 3 magic damage champions. Now, he had Spirit Visage in that clip, so
yeah,
that was helping with his tankiness.
Lee Sin went in there and last hit all of the guys because he wanted to make sure that everybody knew that he was the best on the team. Picked up all those kills, and so very cool stuff. Apparently, Nuguri did get 11 out of 12 votes, so I wonder who that one guy was that voted for ShowMaker.
What?
Or Canyon. I mean, Canyon did have a pretty good game as well.
I'm actually curious now.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to show it to us, but...
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Would have to imagine no, but you guys do have the interview ready. I'm going to hand it over to Ji-sun for the translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Ji-sun with the translation, and we'll be having a solo MVP or POG interview with Nuguri. He picked up 3 POGs so far. Congratulations on the first win. We had a bad start, so we were really sad. So really want this first win. So I'm really happy with this 2-2-0 victory and also the POG. So game number 1, you did pick up a win. However, it was a bit shaky. So what kind of feedback went back and forth? Kiana, Rumble, they were really strong in team fight. Also, Kiana was really good at roaming and picking up kills. So we said, let's just ban out those champions. And also, it was so close to losing that game 1, but Nuguri, you managed to just destroy the Nexus. Who made the call to use the TP? We actually lost 2 players and they were pushing with inhibitors, so I knew that even though if I just join or group up with my teammates, we would fail to protect that inhibitor, but after that actually players just tried to base and set up in their base, so we communicated with me and BeryL, so we just decided to go with TP and just go for two-man backdoor. So, what was in your mind when you're taking down the Nexus? I was really focusing in that situation. I was thinking that I have to push it, I have to just finish it. I didn't really calculate everything, but someone told me Aphelios is also coming to the base, so I thought I was gonna die, but I was lucky to break it down. So this is the moment we mentioned. Were you getting really emotional at that moment, or were you able to remain cool-headed? So someone told me Aphelios is also grouping up, so I thought I was close to dying, but I guess I was a little bit lucky because I took one rune with the attack speed. Maybe that snowballed to the backdoor. Because I always miss so many CS in the early phase, so I actually took the attack speed rune, and I didn't really expect this would end up actually winning the backdoor. So game number 2. Nuguri, once again, you got the POG. You were the highlight of that game. What was the team's communication in that game? Well, even though we got game number 1, our performance was really bad, so we weren't in a good mood. So we wanted to just cheer up, and also we knew that APK were good at team fights and also roaming, so we wanted to shut those plays down, and we just want to have the games we wanted. And when you were calling Kenyan for a turret dive, you actually made a false call saying he only has 1 HP. Well, I knew that was a mistake, but I just wanted to say let's do a turret dive, but I made a mistake in saying it to top 1 HP. I know it's a lie, but Kenyan also used to it, so I pinged him and he said, oh, this is viable, let's do this, so we made it happen. And also, Nuguri, now you are more intelligent than before because we have this highlight we want to focus on here. So, did you expect that you will be able to survive? Well, actually, yes, because two of the players were AP damaged, so I didn't see any angle for me to die. So I actually told my teammates I can win. You guys don't have to just come for a backup. I also lied there, but luckily my teammates were following for backup, so I was able to survive and also pick up kills. Because I lied too much, well, my teammates can't tell whether it's the time to come or not. So you are still aggressive as before, but you are now smarter now. So there are some solo kill level moments, but you just hold back. There are some moments I cannot hold back, but when I go in for those moments, I always end up dying. So our coaching staff and my teammates, especially BeryL, he is my inhibitor. When I say I wanna go in for this, he always says no, you shouldn't go. So Nuguri and DAMWON Gaming is growing up as a whole. So you're taking all the POGs in your team. First of all, we really need to kind of step up our performance, but last year I picked up a lot of MVPs, but in the end I didn't get a lot, so this year I'm trying to get more POGs. Then what's your personal goal? We never made to the finals, so we all are dreaming for the final stage. I hope Nuguri and DAMWON Gaming can make it to the final stage and pick up the trophy. This will be the end of the interview. Wrapping up with the message for the fans. You know, the virus is spreading all around the nation, so I want to thank all the fans watching at home. I'm really sad we cannot have the fan meets at the arena, but I always appreciate all the love and support. And please stay safe and take care. So this will be the end of the interview with Nuguri, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji-sun, as always, for that wonderful translation. Always good to hear from Nuguri as well, as he's always very animated in the interviews and gives some great insights there. So DAMWON, they take the loss against SKT, but they smash T1. APK.
T1.
Yes, T1. Come on, sorry. I wonder which week I'll get that down. Maybe week 3 or 4. Maybe I'm too optimistic. DAMWON, 1-1, still early, but they get the win that they should have, and a loss that perhaps they should have as well, although it was very close against T1. Guys, don't go anywhere. We are going to be back here in about an hour, which I know is a long time, but when we do get back in an hour, it is going to be Gen G versus Griffin as we mentioned before, Gen G, pretty stacked roster, everybody expecting a lot from them. But Griffin, still waiting to see exactly how that roster is going to pan out and just how good they can be. So this is going to be a big test for them up against Gen G. Again, we have an hour, so we're going to get some dinner. You guys can grab some popcorn, and we'll be back with more LCK 2020.